Live. We are live, baby. We are live. Yes. Hey, leg kick. I already see you. Leg kicks early bird. The early birds get the worm is what I've always heard, but I never wanted the damn worm. Like that sounds gross. Anyways, RT Bear here coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. This is Wednesday night. This is the Pontificators night, and we got a doozy of a show for you tonight. Actually, we're just kind of we got a few loose topics that we're going to get into, and probably just BS our way through 2 hours, which is what we usually do. Maybe I should say BS. Maybe I should say pontificate for the next 2 hours. We got some good insight. Got a great group of guys here. And what should I do? I want to say hi. We got leg kick. We need some more. There's Edwin. We need some more signs of life. More signs of life in the chat. We need to get this party crazy before we start. So, if you guys don't know, the Pontificators is possibly the longest running live stream show that CG has done. So I think Todd Mulrooney said we're about 3.5 years into this. So we got hundreds of shows on the Pontificators. And so it's all because of you guys supporting. So I thank you. And let's see who else. We got Hank. Hank, are you guys talking about Popeye too? I think Graham Nolan's talking about Popeye. He's got the Popeye topics covered, so I don't think we're going to get into Popeye. We got Clint in the chat. Hey, Clint, what's up, man? It's been a long time. We got Bob, comic book Bob, in the chat. All right, man. Without further ado, I'm going to go first come, first serve. So first one in, first one on the show. So we got a Death Raider in the house. Inker extraordinaire, turn storyteller, turn penciler, and always dug this guy's work. Just absolutely insane line work. Let's bring in Mr. Death Raider, Rob Hunter.
Here I am.
Yay! Score!
What's going on, Art?
I always like when you were a kid and you play like street football, and then you actually score with the ball. So you get to do one of two things. You get to go, yes, like score, or you get to like slam the ball down, spike it. Although I did spike the ball once and it came back and smacked me in the face. So on grass, it's a different game, but when you smack it down on asphalt, it'll come back. It'll come back with a vengeance. So how you been, brother?
I've been good. I've been working on Death Raider and working on commissions, so it's all fantastic over here.
Yeah, I saw some of your commissions. They're nuts.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We obviously we talked about this a little bit before we went live, but yeah, I used to laugh at the people that did gray tone stuff. When people would ask me, hey, do you do gray tones on your sketch covers or your commissions? And I go, no, that's for people who don't know how to render. And now here I am going insane with gray tones. So. Yeah,
that's why I try to never say never, although I still put my foot in my mouth quite a bit. So with foot in mouth, this guy never, ever has put his foot in his mouth, not even as a child, a young child. Young child they're so rubbery they'll just stick their foot right in their mouth. This guy, I know for a fact, has never done that, and he is my brother in arms with this show. So we kind of came up with this show together. Mr. Todd Mulrooney, Dooney, what's up?
I don't know if I can confirm what you're saying. I have put my.
Are you gonna put your foot in your mouth right now?
No, I don't. On here, never.
Nah, it's dirty. It's dirty, man. No one should ever do that. There is like fetishes. There are people that get off on that. That's weird, man.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it's like the poop shoot. I don't understand it.
What? The poop shoot? What is Art bringing up?
There's some butt stuff. There are some hey Rob, you haven't been around long enough. We will always de-evolve. Is that the word? Devolve into butt stuff. So
I am the rookie still. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad you've graduated into a nicer location, because that storage unit was starting to worry us.
oh, I love
Hey,
the
you
storage
guys
unit.
being the three of us being artists, if they came to you and said, "Hey, would you like to do one issue of Star Trek or G.I. Joe or something like that?" Would you be like, "Hell yeah"?
Well, let's keep that question. Let me
Yeah.
get the rest of the guys in here, and then
You're
ask
not
that
arguing.
question again,
Oh,
and then we'll
Pedro's
see
not.
what everybody says. We'll start the show off with a
Clint's an
Todd
artist.
question. All right, man, the sexiest man in CG, Boobalicious, Mr. Boobalicious himself, Mr. Clint Blinsky. What is up, brother?
I hope you're not talking about my man boobs.
We are.
I stopped lifting about let's see, I'm 51 now. I stopped lifting around 14, 15. So
Yeah, but you're looking really trim.
it's
Like
35
it's the shoveling.
35 years of not working out has caught up with me.
Wait a minute. Don't they say you're not even supposed to start lifting until like you're 15 or 16 or 17 or 18? And that's when you stopped?
It was about a month. It was about a month I gave it a whirl.
Oh,
And
okay.
it didn't work.
You know, the
for
thing
me.
is, when I have a crazy metabolism, so I mean, I'm as big as I've ever been, but
all this
natural.
natural. I'm 100% natty.
But I'm just saying, like when I worked out like a
I've been
fiend,
accused. I've been accused of being on the gear.
Yeah, when I lived by the beach,
Oh.
I ran or walked 2 to 3 miles a night, 7 days a week, and I had a Gold's Gym. You know, I went there, worked out, did all that stuff, and for what? There was no reason, right? I was not going to gain a pound, and now that I really should be doing that stuff, no, I'm not doing any of it.
That means you didn't eat enough. If you were working out like a monster and you didn't gain any muscle,
it's just lean muscle and cookies.
You got to eat more.
I was never a snack guy. Like when I was a bachelor, I was never a snack guy. So yeah, I never bought like cereal or cookies or any of that crap. But we got to get everybody in here. Mr. Animation, this guy does a great animation style. He's going from animation into comic books, and we're trying to teach him the ways of comic books, of the 6-panel page. And he's come along great. Did a black and white issue, 22-page, one and done, called High Octane. Hit it out of the ballpark. He's working on his own book now, Tropical Magics, and I think there's another book too, which is coming along. And this man, Mr. Pedro Eng.
All right. I went to the gym today.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Pedro,
it.
you know you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to get into comic books, get tired of all the BS, and then you go into animation for more money. You're not supposed to do it the other way around.
Animation is another desert, man. I'm sorry to inform you that it's worse. It's played with woke agendas and people crying, and you're getting fired. And after you're 45, you become unemployable. So,
is that what happens in animation?
So Pedro's career is over.
It's over.
So here you are.
Yeah, it's over because I have an attitude.
Yeah, well, we've noticed. The thing about like California, when I started, there were very few comic book artists, and the comic book artists that were in California did animation when it used to be a seasonal thing. So there was seasons. So if you could draw and you like comic books and stuff like that, you do animation during the animation season. Then I think it was kind of in the summer or whatever, like a summer break type thing. And then they would lay everybody off, and those people would pick up a pencil and start drawing comic books. during the off season. So that was always my introduction to animation early on. And most of the time, I mean, they weren't animators; they did storyboards. So they did the closest thing to the comic book type.
It's a
of thing.
gypsy life, man. Like, for example, when I graduated from animation school, it was like, what do you think about India? Do you want to move to Bangalore?
Oh,
yeah, that's where the jobs were. I was like, dude, I don't want to move to India. I come already from the third world.
They have good
Another
food.
third world with a different language? Nah, thank you.
yeah, with more people.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, dude.
So that's why you're here now.
Just move to the third world with more curry.
Yeah,
I love curry, man.
Oh, dude, like the things like my grandfather was from Kashmir. So,
I love that song, that Zeppelin song.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dun, dun,
Yeah, dude, and the things like I grew up eating curry. Like my mom makes like awesome Indian food, so that wouldn't have been a problem. It's just that, dude, it's like the salaries were shit, and you would be living in India.
Well, I'm going to tell a quick curry story, but I want to get the man, the myth. This man is the anchor of the show. This is our go-to guy. Without Bob, we'd just be lost. We would be lost out in the ocean with no anchor, or what do they call it? With no rudder, no wind in our sails. So basically, Bob is the wind in our sails, and he is the rudder, and he's the anchor, because he always tells us like to shut it down after 2 hours.
Shut up,
Bob is the albatross around our neck.
Yeah. So this is the man, the myth. This is a comic book Bob. Rest in power, Jay Briscoe.
What?
Oh, shit, man.
Beautiful intro, Bob.
Wow. Yeah. Well. Was it taking too long there?
For a long time, man.
Are you waiting in the green room, in the backstage area, as they say? But anyway, like my curry story, real quick. Okay, DC Comics. Okay, they would have like these powwows. You know, you'd come and they'd get, like, if you were on the Titans, they'd have the Titans guys go out, or whatever, Superman. And so we're all going out to dinner, and so we're going out to an Indian restaurant, right? And so I never had curry before. Ooh. And so I tasted. I was like, oh my gosh, it's just so good. And I just ate it like a pig. I was like eating it. And then they were like, Art, you might want to slow down. You might want, and I'm like, why? How could something so great hurt me? How could this happen? Like I couldn't comprehend. I could not comprehend. Just to the end of the story, I went back to the office and spent the rest of the meeting time in the bathroom. So
nice. So, you get the cold sweat?
Is curry hard on you?
Yeah, it could be.
Especially the first time. Yeah.
If it's your first time, there's a lot of spices you might not be like.
It's really spicy. Yeah.
No. It's not even spicy. Like, have you ever tried cardamom?
No, it sounds weird. I'm not going to touch it.
Coriander seeds?
No.
It's a bunch of stuff that you're not normally used to eating that can have a.
Okay, so basically, the way I see how Marsala and all those curries, like they would grab like the village idiot and say like, "Hey, Rabindranath, try this," and then he'll eat it like he didn't die. Let's put in the curry, and that way they got all the ingredients and they come with this like concoction. But dude, you have to get your body like used to it. If you go like really hard right up there, you're gonna die.
I did, man. I never spent that much time in the bathroom.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then it's one of those things where it gives you false hope. Like you go, okay, I'm done, and then you get up and you try to regain like you're a normal guy, and then you have to excuse yourself again. So that happened 2 or 3 times. Yeah. So
so your body rejected all of it. Plus
all of it. Yeah.
But the good thing is I was hungry for more after the meal.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really good. Like, whenever I go with somebody who's never had Indian food at all, I would say, like, okay, try the butter chicken first. Take that for a spin. See how you fare. Okay, now have a.
See if it blows out your butthole. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Now have some naan bread. Naan bread is just like bread with garlic. It's really good. But like you start getting like a little like introduced into the flavor profile, and then you hit like the tikka masalas and the
Okay.
Not
What
really
did
like
we cover? Did we
goat
cover all
curry.
the butt stuff? Can we check that off?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
my
think
stomach's
we're
bubbling
covered.
just listening to this.
Ew.
Exactly.
Sounds
Well,
gross.
we got some cool topics to discuss, but first off, man, I wanted to do a little bit of a celebration. I've been with Comics Gate for almost since the inception, and we finally got to a place that we're marketing and merchandising some Comics Gate gear. So Ethan Van Sciver, EVS, has got this great campaign going. And it is 2023 All Caps Comics and CG Apparel. I think he launched this 3 days ago, something like
Yeah.
that. So he's doing pretty well. Let's get this beyond this 51, this paltry 51,448. Let's get this thing to I don't know, tonight. Let's get it to 70K. What do you say? Let's do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
But
We can do
yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. There's, his all caps is like Hack Shack Studios. I think we all have, our own studio stuff there. I'm actually wearing my Hack Shack Studios hat right now.
Nice.
We got Inko as he's our little mascot. And so this is it right here, man. This is
that's
the
cool.
Yeah, this stuff is so
Oh,
badass.
I want one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't come in fat.
Soy- Soy
Oh.
Wow.
It
Was
doesn't
that
come in-
directed at poor Clint or?
I,
It doesn't
I-
come in
all of
I think
Yeah.
there's more than one per. I think there's a couple of on this panel that would.
Not this guy.
What's the
Yeah.
biggest size, Bob?
I think he said 4X.
4X?
Wow.
I can squeeze into a 4X.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Squeezing
buy
in a 2X. It just ain't gonna look good.
Well,
Yeah.
I quit worrying about looking good a long time ago.
Since you were
Yeah,
I just
14 or
want shit
15.
that doesn't chafe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're not supposed to be pretty.
Yeah,
We-
since
we
you were
leave that
14
for
or
the art.
15, right, Clint?
That's a
what you
cool
said.
looking T-shirt, though, man.
Well, there's more, man. Look
I
at
love the
this.
soy free.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it took me like a minute, like looking at it longer. It says 2018, so that's the official Comicsgate year
The
right
launch
there.
year.
Yeah, like a diner. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I'm
this
getting
one
one
right.
of those for sure.
This one, I don't know. I kind of like the more like Jersey style writing, like this one. This one, the handwritten stuff is cool, but I don't like it as much. But I'm gonna get me a T-shirt and I'm gonna get one of these hats as soon as I can.
I love the watermark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Property of Comicsgate trademark.
don't want
He's got
anybody
to
ripping it
protect
off.
that shit because there's
Yeah,
been
dude.
enough people going after it.
What would be funny is if
awesome.
he actually had a shirt that had that watermark on it.
Yeah, exactly. I would make
That's all
that shirt.
it was.
Yeah. I like that the trademark is really, really huge. So here's like this really straightforward Comicsgate T-shirt here.
Yeah.
Here's a
I mean,
different
that's
color.
cool.
Yeah.
I would
These
wear
are
that.
nice. These are nice looking stuff, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But here, oh my god, I'm a
Oh,
baseball
the hats
cap
are
guy.
sweet.
Yeah, this is great. So I like the 18. So I wish the one with the skull. Where's that one? I wish it had the year. This one. I
like
want
that.
this one, but it doesn't have the year. It says Creative Freedom, which I dig.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll probably end up getting this one, but I wish it had the 2018 on it.
I wish it had the soy free. Like,
Yeah.
I want to wear that cap. Like, I'm planning on running a 21K in August. I want to wear the Comicsgate cap to that race.
Yeah.
Get pictures.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like the inside brim's got the Comicsgate logo,
Yeah.
and then on the back it says Independent Comics. So I think this is probably the one I'm gonna get. Although I really like
Yeah.
the 18 with the 18 on it as well. But I'm not a bright blue. Like that's just not really me with the yellow. If it
The
came,
yellow.
I like the black one, the black and yellow.
yeah, I was
Black
going to
and
say,
black
yeah,
one.
the black and yellow works, even though it's bright. But there's for some reason, I think with the blue,
I don't know.
it's
The
a
black and
little-
yellow is very Vespis.
The
I don't
red
know,
and
like,
gray. The red
I'm
and green.
associating
The
it
red
with
and water.
Cyberfrost.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Clint. This is the one I'm going to
like
back.
that's the
Yeah.
hat that I would.
That one's
get
badass.
there.
That's the one I'm getting. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see which one is the best selling one.
Oh yeah, what's
It's
that
the
one?
skull one.
It's
Yeah.
got to be, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
I
skull
would
one.
think so.
Yeah.
Okay, where is the
The
skull one?
t-shirts.
The skull. We're coming up on it.
Right
Okay,
there.
the skull
Yep,
is 30.
39.
Oh my
39.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
So it's killing.
It's killing all of these hats.
I'm probably
And
gonna get
I bet
the beanies too.
the t-shirts with the jersey stripes on the arms, I'm betting those are doing the best too.
The
Yeah,
first one.
that t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
Those ones I bet are doing the best. Those are really
I-
cool looking.
Yeah, this is the one that I would get to, and I like it because it's got the 2018 on it. So I guess I can't get everything I want. So the hat's limited, but if I get this shirt here, it says 2018, so I get mine there. So you guys, I'll probably put. I didn't put this link in the description, but I'll put this link in the description after the show is done. Maybe, well, I can put it in the chat here.
We need the sweatpants combo that says Comic Skate across the ass.
No.
Like the old juicy sweatpants.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Think about how awesome we'd all look like walking around conventions and like the full Comic Skate.
No,
swag.
man. We gotta get the mafia jumpsuits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Comics
The
Skate
Russian
across the
suits.
ass, and then like SJWs can kiss my ass underneath it or something.
Like the old school mafia jogging suits, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We gotta
yeah.
get those.
Yeah, that's marketing, you guys. You guys are on it, and I
Big
think
time
what
swag.
Ethan's going to use the money for is for legal defense, because there are people that are contesting ownership of Comics
No,
Gate.
dude, it's legal offense. Like he's going after the guys.
Oh, he's going to so he's going after them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually shared like the list of all this stuff that was selling, and there's secret tiers if you join his subscription channel or whatever. So I think there's a hat with a laughing skull, and there's a hat. There's the skull hat in it, but it's orange. So I think there's a couple of different hats too that if you're part of his the club or Comic Skate Club, how it is.
That's really cool. Yeah, you guys, this is badass. This is 4 years in the making. I love that we now have a brand. I do believe that he's going to share this with all the comic skaters, not the money, because he's earned that. But like, if we wanted to use the logos and things like that for stuff in the future,
Yeah, I would love to have Comic Skate somewhere on my cover, even if it's just like branding it like the old Marvel Comics group strips. I always do my Mayhem. I would love to put Comic Skate group across the cover, but obviously you got to run it through Ethan. He holds the copyright and the trademark and all that. But that would be just a fun thing to have in your comic.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'll probably end up doing something similar because I am proud as hell with Comicsgate. I mean, I really do think we've built quite a platform here. This is a nice port in the storm. When it says freedom, independence, that's what this is. When pencils were down a few years ago, when everybody was on lockdown, stuff like that, Comicsgate books were still moving along. We never put our pencils down. Campaigns were doing well. We were shipping stuff out. We were moving. So because we're independent of like Diamond, of retailers, things like that. And I've never been opposed to those things per se, but when Diamond stopped, and all that stuff happened, I was like so just overwhelmed at what we had built because we were independent. I wasn't scared. I wasn't worried. We were selling books and we were moving forward. So I was like, wow, the power of what we've created. All of you guys, all 6 of us, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody in the chat. This is an amazing time to be doing comic books.
Oh yeah.
Well, how effed up was that? How effed up is it that comic book companies don't have like a buffer zone of like a month or 2 of finances? That they had to literally, Diamond's closing because of COVID, so they told their artists to stop drawing. Like, we don't want to have to cut you a check because our financial means are so limited.
Yeah, well, I
What does that
I think about this. Okay, there was Disney and Universal Studios, right?
Mhm.
Disney shut everything down, the parks, everything. I mean, I think they were still making cartoons and stuff, but they shut the parks down. Universal kept construction; they didn't stop. They kept building, so they got like 2 years on Disney now. You know what I mean? So they're gonna end up destroying Disney in the next couple of years. In regards to theme parks, stuff like that. So I didn't understand like why Marvel and DC were doing that. I thought they would use this time to inventory, books and create all kinds of new stuff and just use that as an opportunity since you're not on the grid anymore. I mean, just think about the freedom you'd have as a publishing company not being on the grid for 2 years. You know,
and your guys are all at home. They're
Right.
already safe at home. Like when they were telling people not to go someplace unless it was a grocery store, your guys are all at home working anyways.
Yeah, your freelancers are already at home,
they
other
were
than
busy,
editorial,
though, weren't they?
editorial, everything's email and
Anybody
phone
who's-
anyways.
Anybody who's worked freelance in comics for most of their lives, the COVID lockdowns didn't really change your life that
No,
much.
not at all.
Right.
Oh, wait, I've got to sit in my room and draw for the next 2 years? Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
just like the 20 years before it.
Yeah, dude,
Roger,
but I
I'm
mean, Marvel and DC were very busy. Like they gave us like Gay Superman, the wedding of Batman, and like
Joker.
Naked
baby.
Batman. They gave us Pregnant Joker. Like they've been working really hard. So it's not like they've been sitting on their ass. It's just everything they're putting out is shit.
But like the thing is, like they're doing these comic books. Well, it was pencils down. They could have just annihilated the industry, with inventoried stuff. Be clever, think outside the box. But all they could think about doing is save, like putting their tail between their legs and trying to save money. And in the meantime, you have freelancers that are living hand to mouth, that aren't able to pay their mortgage, their rent, all that other stuff, because you weren't brave enough to do this. And I do agree with you, Rob. I think it was because like financially, they can't go that far in the future. They can't finance that.
Yeah, they can't go 3 weeks without a check from the Diamond. Like they're like, we have to keep turning. And you could even see it in schedules. How schedules, most books, unless you were special little baby who got spoiled as an artist, we would finish stuff and 3 weeks later it'd be on stands, and you're just like,
That's
obviously
ridiculous.
I always thought that was just waiting on writers and stuff, and now looking back, it probably had just as much to do with waiting on some people as it did. We can't invest the money into these projects unless we're going to get a return super fast, which the
weirdest thing is, if that indeed is true, which I do think it's got to be partially true.
Yeah.
That when I broke into the industry in the mid 80s, like it was a bad time to do comic books, but we were still working 3 months ahead. They were still inventorying stories. They were still putting annuals out. They were still investing money, annuals a year in advance, to get these annuals going. How do you think you get somebody like Art Adams to draw an X-Men annual? You give it to him a year in advance.
Okay, as a guy who just got here, I have a question for all you guys. Was there any time where it was a good time to be in comics?
It was always a good time to do comics.
The 90s.
It was fun. It was always fun, even though we weren't getting paid shit. There was camaraderie. There was everybody felt. I mean, it was a little like Comicsgate, where we felt like we were all in the boat together. We got our oars and we were kind of rowing in the same direction. What ended up happening is, like, the Image days, when serious money came into the industry, it changed things. Like, money does change everything. Some for better, some for worse. But what happened is, instead of like things kind of expanding and people being more generous, they kind of became more like grabby. Like they were more like, I'm going to get this money, I'm going to hold on to it. And so it became kind of about that versus, let's expand this, let's do this, let's do that.
The whole scarcity mentality. Because I don't know. Like,
So whenever
Yeah,
Well, hold on,
whenever I talk to people outside,
hold
of what we're
on.
doing-
I haven't made my point yet.
Oh, sorry,
That's what you call a setup. So what they did is when Marvel and DC lost, all the talent and everybody went over to Image, what they must have said, if not out loud, they were definitely thinking it. This is never going to happen again. So then what the publishers did is they vowed to never let it happen again. No more superstars, no more of this. So then what they kept doing is they would tone back on how many books you'd get, how many books you'd get a year, like all those things that would help make you a superstar, they start taking away. So one of the main things is to get a title, stay on that title, and do it monthly for a few years. That's how you establish a following. If you're bouncing around from this book to this book to that book, then it gets harder to establish a following on, get a fan base together, things like that. So that's what started happening. And I think that it just kept going. There still are superstars. There are people that they have to treat nice, like Jeff Johns or Greg Capullo and stuff like that. So those guys are the exceptions. But pretty much everybody else is like Rob knows. You're not going to get a monthly anymore. You're not going to get your own title. You're not going to get any of that stuff anymore. So that's what I think happened.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just amplified that in movies. Like when the movie started rocking and rolling, they made sure nobody was getting any kind of contracts where they were going to be able to share anything substantial, even if it's a percentage. There's no more Rob Liefeld creator or creator contract.
Yeah. No, but I get it. Like even name recognition, man. Because like when the movie started rolling, like okay, like here's Iron Man. Okay, who was the quintessential Iron Man artist?
Bob Layton.
Exactly. But
that's the director. The director invited Bob Layton to the movie set. Yeah, Marvel. That's not Marvel.
That's not Marvel, and that's the thing. Like they completely separated the guys who created the lore, from the MCU or whatever, and that to me was a travesty, man.
They used the fan base for the first year. Because they knew they learned their lesson from Harry Potter. Harry Potter was all the things done right, and then all the things that the studios didn't want to repeat, and made sure that it would never get repeated. That J.K. Rowling has the best contract ever written for individual creators, and so they just wanted to make sure that wouldn't happen again. But Marvel launching, they knew that they needed that. That seal of approval, right? They needed that fan seal of approval. So they created this brain trust, the Marvel brain trust, where they brought comic book people in. And then, like the first opening would be like comic books flipping, so they were definitely hearkening like this comes from this comic book, like these comic books, right? So they wore that kind of on their sleeve. We're being true to comics, all that kind of stuff. But then as soon as they could get rid of those guys going into phase 2, man, what did they do, Bob? They just chopped them right across the artery there.
Yep. Now they just reference their movies. No more comic book spin rack thing. They quickly realized as comic sales were going down and they were starting up the movies that they spun off another company so that Marvel Studios would never get dragged down, and the people that were part of Marvel Studios would keep getting those bonus checks, even though the comic sales started dropping. Even though they're mining all those stories and all those ideas for the movies, they disconnect it just enough so that it's a lot harder to try to say, hey man, that's my story.
Yeah, but we're independent of all that stuff now. I mean, this is all rear view mirror stuff. I think we all have, stories like this. We've seen the mainstream, just kind of butcher and destroy a lot of our, things that we've loved. Some of us have invested decades into creating, and stuff like that. So, this is the new paradigm. This is the shift, man. It's the stuff we're creating now. It's the fan base that we're creating, and I do think that Comicsgate is definitely a beacon of hope to a lot of creative people.
Oh, yeah.
It does come with a little bit of I don't know. There's a little baggage. There's a little baggage attached. You know, there's a lot of people that like
With
to
the bad
slam.
boys of comics.
Yeah,
There's
but I like
risk.
you, Clint. Yeah,
Man,
There's
Especially
risk
Clint.
involved. You
Yeah.
don't get anything without risking something. And
you got to flip the colors a bit.
if you want,
No collar.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
exactly.
yeah, and that's the way it's going. And it's so weird to think, you know, 4 years into this, we're almost, you know, 5. We're going on 5 years of Comicsgate. I said if we could go over 5, like 5, 6 years, this is history book stuff. Like, even if it's just a footnote, Comicsgate will have to be acknowledged by historians, right? They'll
I don't
have to
think
go.
it's going to be a footnote. I think it's going to be another. It's going to be a divergent revenue stream. It's going to be. I mean, it's already become its own thing, and it's built. It's built each year. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
And I don't know, like this whole system, like waiting for a big company to come and buy your story so you can make a movie. Like that's become a thing of the past, dude. It's just a big brown dick everyone's getting. Like
breaking into comics and being like the next comic book superstar.
They don't want that. They don't care
It's
about
I
that.
don't want that
happening.
anymore. No.
They never
They don't want
did.
that.
It was always about using comics as a stepping stone. That's why they don't care that they destroy it in their wake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
especially.
But like I think what Clint was trying to say, that there's not going to be a comic book artist superstar. There's not going to be a comic book writer superstar anymore.
Not spread out by
Because
Marvel
the
DC.
companies won't allow it. Yeah.
Not spread out by Marvel DC. But if we have like a great Comicsgate, not even like an artist, like somebody like Young Rippa. Like, dude, that guy's a freaking superstar. Like $3.7 million making pay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Who cares if
That's
Marvel
where,
DC
that's
can
where the
make it?
comic book superstars are.
Yeah,
is doing
exactly.
that.
But that comes from a platform that he took years to
Yeah,
build.
exactly. 10
You know?
years. I mean,
And that's the thing.
But
They
that's
can't
no
take that
different
from him
than
because
like
he built
spending
it.
years
It's his.
becoming a good artist or writer. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you build
your own
audience, you build your talent. I mean, it's a different way of doing it, but it's the same concept of I've got stories to tell.
Yeah.
Talent.
The thing is there are artists out there, and writers out there that could be superstars, but the platform to create them doesn't exist anymore. They have to build it themselves.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why. And that's another reason why we're not seeing. And not just the mainstream doesn't want it because they want the brand to be the superstar.
I mean, right now they're pulling water out of their own boat because they're sinking. So I don't blame them. But that's the thing. Like there was a company for like I'm doing it backwards. Like I didn't go to the mainstream, didn't come here. I think I'm at the place I should be right now. You know, dude, I've been doing animation for 20 years. I know how that tastes. I've worked in minor to mid productions, like nothing that great, but I've done money with animation. And right now it's just like, dude, it's drying up. Like they're firing everybody. All the shows are like woke, and
and animation has always been pretty sketchy as far as just like regular work. But the thing is about Comicsgate, like Ethan's got the the CG paraphernalia, the hats, the beanies, the t-shirts. We can start. I mean, Pedro and I have been talking about like financing animated shorts. Like we can do our own anything. As long as we, we have a group of people as our producers, as our backers, and they like what we're doing, then the sky's the limit, and it becomes a win-win scenario. Like we win, we get to create the stuff, but then we get to entertain people that actually have a vested interest in it. They've invested into these things, and they get to watch it develop, grow, and then become something, and then eventually they get to be entertained by it. This is freaking awesome.
Here's the thing:
man.
two of the biggest animation licenses in the last like 5 or 6 years came out of crowdfunded, self-created publications. Critical Role's Vox Machina, and Vizzy Pop's Has Been Hotel, and
Don't know either of those.
It's well, that's because they're kind of woke. But at the same time,
yeah.
they were all self-created things.
Mhm.
They were something that they created themselves. They started themselves. They created themselves, and then then Amazon took notice and was like, "Hey, we're gonna produce this."
But I don't know, dude. Like the whole thing with Vox Machina, and dude, God bless them. Like I have nothing against them, but they did a crowdfund for it. Basically, they play D&D on YouTube, and people
Yeah.
watch the shows. It's very strange. Like I don't know. I don't find it entertaining. But they had a huge following.
This isn't the thing with those stand-up comedians that were doing this.
No,
they're voice actors.
They're voice actors.
They're voice actors.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
did
like
voice
Patton
acting, yeah.
Oswalt and those guys,
No,
right?
no.
Oh, okay.
So these guys, like, they collected like $11 million in a Kickstarter campaign.
They made like something like between 11 and 14 million dollars.
Yeah, to produce the show. So, dude, your backers are your producers. So they produce the show, and then Amazon says, like, we're producing it. It's like, dude, I don't know that.
Well, Amazon went in and said, we will like they took the money that and that's what they're using to create the show.
Yeah.
And Amazon came in and said, we'll give you an additional 14 million, and we'll put you on for 3 seasons.
Exactly.
And then they went to and to be fair, they did go to their backers and they said, hey, we're gonna do this. If you guys want, we can do some kind of a refund or something. So and they also gave them like they got to see everything before everybody else did. And stuff like that.
I don't know. Like that's the only thing I that brought me the wrong way. That's like now it's an Amazon production. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, and if I was them, I would have been like, yeah, thanks, but we'll just keep doing our own thing.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not everybody's a freaking crusader, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't you guys find it strange that Marvel and DC aren't doing this? Not the crowdfunding.
No,
part,
because Marvel and DC,
but the marketing part. Like, why isn't there a
because they
panel
don't
of
care.
editors hyping their
No,
butts?
I thought about this, Rob. I thought about this, and I said this early on in a live stream. I think they would be doing it, but they can't because the thing is, like, Comicsgate. What's amazing about this is that we kind of all help each other, but there's no contract. There's no. I don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes me anything. We do this because we want to do it, and we understand that if I win, you win. Like it becomes like this thing that just kind of feeds on itself. So, like the older guys can share their platforms, with the younger guys, and then the younger guys become the established guys, and then they share their platforms, and it keeps moving, it keeps growing, it keeps changing, and we're all doing it. It's not like there was an overall design; it just kind of evolved this way. But Marvel and DC can't do this unless they were paying people, right? Like, would you go on and promote a Batman book if you were working on it, Rob, if you weren't getting paid for it? Like, if you had like 2 hours, you had to give up 2 hours of your evening, right, to promote a DC project. And just like do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
They would have to pay you. Like, I couldn't give up 2 hours, to do something like that.
And dude, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Marvel tried to do like this lifestyle Marvel brand, like a YouTube channel. And dude, and those guys were insufferable. Like,
because they weren't creating
hard.
people.
Yeah.
But wait, hold on. Like Todd's got his hand up.
Yep.
Does the ERC money come with like a contract? Like, you got to do this for the next
ESG
12 months?
You mean ESG or is this
The
something
ERC
else?
money is the money, like the woke money, the
ESG.
ESG.
Yeah. Does that come with a contract that says, okay, we give you this money, now you got to behave this way for 12 months?
Yep.
No, you have to prove that you're worthy of the money, and then
You're
they
worth
give
of
it
the
to you.
money.
Yeah,
So
it's just for woke investors. It's like Green Party stuff. So what they do is, like, if you're a business and you're openly traded on the stock market, what BlackRock or whoever will do is they'll look into your business if you want, or they just do it. I don't know what they do, but then they send out to their investors like, this is a company that's environmentally friendly, or they're PC friendly, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And
Or
so
they have
then they just give like a seal of approval, and then investors that might be into that stuff then know, oh well, DC Comics has they're good with like transgender politics, or they're all Democrats, or whatever the criteria is. So I don't think it has anything to do with them out and out telling these companies. I think the companies do it so they can get that ESG rating. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why can't we have almost like two brands, right? So within Marvel, you have, which would be, this I think would be perfect. Like you could do Marvel Tales 2-in-1, you know, do a bunch of, not like, it doesn't have to be held to any kind of what do you call it, where you're trying to keep in like continuity. You don't have to hold any of these books to continuity. Let's just try stories that are old style, you know, one and dones, and see what we do. So we'll do Marvel 2-in-1, Marvel Tales, Marvel Team Up, Marvel this, Marvel that. They're non-woke, and then we'll see how they do far as sales.
Because, Todd, there's people that have worked their way into the upper echelon of Marvel and DC that hate comics, that hate the stuff that we do, that hate the fans, that think superheroes are for children and it's garbage. But they don't want to let that happen because it makes them look bad.
No, that's not true that they won't let it happen, because DC did it. Okay? It started, Black Label started out just as that, and it worked. And what they do, they turned it into a woke line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But originally it wasn't like that. It was mature stories, mature subject matter, and it was like kind of old school. It was like,
and they got rid of it because it made the stuff that they wanted to do look bad.
Guys, we got to stop.
Exactly.
Guys,
they don't want stuff that makes them look bad. They want to hold on to their power. They want to put out their woke agenda. They don't want to put out comics that sell or popular, because then it makes their woke stuff look. You put it in comparison, the woke stuff doesn't sell. So then, why are we doing woke stuff if this other stuff sells?
Right, like what I think it is it's just like it's beholden. Like that's why Comicsgate works, because we're beholden to the backers, to the people. So it's direct to the consumer. What these companies are doing, it's not just DC and Marvel, is there's like a split loyalty. So there's the reader base, which they have contempt for. They have to, otherwise they wouldn't be doing what they do. And then there's the investor money, there's the ESG money. So these are both revenue streams. These are both ways that are coming into their company and making them money. But the ESG stuff, I have a feeling, is out. It's more money than the retail stuff that they're making off the books. So then what they're doing is they're not smart enough to go, somehow we'll try to bridge the gap. You know what I mean? We won't insult our fan base, and we'll still try to, appease and do more green friendly or politically correct stuff. They didn't do that. They went all in with the one. They went all in with the investor money, the ESG guys, and then be damned the consumer. You know what I mean? And the reason this is going to, it will, mark my words, it will blow up in their face, because it's short term. It's short term, because the only way you can expand, you're fucking making comic books, right? Make good comic books. That's how you should be making your money. You shouldn't be making your money with woke investors that just see that you're doing weird shit,
it's
having
forced socialism,
right? Joker shit out a mud baby, or like whatever crap is happening just to appease the ESG investors. Eventually you're just going to turn everybody off, and then you're not going to have viable ideas anymore.
And
hang on.
Nobody invests in a company unless they think there's going to be profits eventually.
Yeah,
right.
And if there's no profits, the investment money just goes away.
Yeah. What were you saying, Todd?
I think it's going to change, by the way.
Well, it's already. They're already. Well, what's happening is I guess the chickens are coming home to roost, because a lot of this money that's been invested into them is being investigated, because some of these ESG deals and licenses have been shown to be basically frauds. They're not living up to the supposed standards that they were supposed to for them.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of frauds and ESG and all this shit, did you guys hear that Greta Thunberg is finally she got busted as being a fraud. Have you seen this? I saw this on the Rubin Report earlier today. There is okay, so she got arrested, right? So that was the big news. Like she's standing up against coal miners, and shame on them for digging up coal so people could stay warm in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Fuck those people, they're evil, right? So
she's not allowing Germans to.
Yeah, she's in Germany, and so then there's like the video that's making all the mainstream news or whatever of her getting carted out, like she's getting carried out by these big security guys or cops, right? And so I don't know how this was leaked, but it was leaked that before that happened, there's Greta taking photo ops with these cops. Like she's sitting there, she's smiling.
The whole thing was staged.
It was all fucking staged. Like she's smiling with those cops and everything, and they're taking video and taking photographs and everything. And then they get into character and she gets carted out. I'm telling you right now, it's done. No, she can't recover from this. There's videotape. No, there's videotape. Her 15 minutes is done. It's done. How can anybody that sees this believe that she has any integrity, that what she stands for has any merit at all?
But
people
nobody
ignore
would have
it.
even seen this if Elon Musk hadn't bought Twitter. That's how bad it is, because the national media won't cover it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys.
NBC, CBS will not touch that video of the behind the scenes, the staging of it. Like
She's
CNN, nobody, maybe Fox News might. Like that would be the only hope of it getting out. But otherwise, you're seeing it on Twitter, and that's about it. That's how much they get this covered up.
No, dude, she's been caught being full of
Several
shit
times.
before, several times.
Mhm.
When she was when there was pictures of her and her mom in their like $1.5 million apartment sipping wine. Like that stuff's been going on for a long time. This is they're not gonna pay attention to it because they don't care.
But not only that, like there was this like email exchange with a friend of hers. Like they were committing fraud in India because they posted some photos that were were taken years ago, and they were selling it like it's something that was happening right there. And there's the exchange of her like, hey, delete everything. We're gonna get caught. That happened like in August last year. Nothing.
I don't know. I mean, those are a little different than protesting, and the whole protest is a fraud. It's a fraud, like drinking, making money, doing this other stuff.
Look at
but
AOC.
this is direct, man. This is like when you see this thing. When I saw this thing, I got excited. I was like, it's over. Like she is just a complete fraud.
And she's funny looking, man. She's funny
Dude,
looking.
look at what happened with AOC though, man. Yeah. When she went down to the border and she's like, and she took those photos where it made it look like she was screaming at them as they were dragging people in the dirt, and then but the one guy took the pictures with the drone, and you can see that she's yelling at nothing.
It's just a parking lot.
Yeah. She still weathered that. She still got reelected.
Yeah, but she's way more Teflon. She's got way more charisma, and she's
not as messed up as Greta is. Like, she's easier on the eyes.
Come on, no, dude.
She looks straight out of the Dark Crystal, man.
Greta's eyes don't look in the same spot.
Yeah, I think Adam Carolla says it best. He's like, if AOC was like a middle-aged, dumpy housewife looking person,
she wouldn't be anywhere near as popular.
No one would listen to her at all.
Yeah.
The only reason they do is because she's semi-decent and she's somewhat charismatic and articulate.
But anyway.
Listen.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I wanted to take a moment and just kind of not bring things down, but just have some reverence for a brother in arms, Jason Pearson. Yeah, we lost Jason Pearson over the holidays, and the news is just now. I think it came out yesterday that he had gone on to a greater place, and I know Jason was definitely a conflicted individual. He had some ghosts. He had some things that he was dealing with, but you know what? He was always really nice to me, and all the stuff like I thought like there's no way Jason's going to comment on anything I post, right? Because I thought he's not going to stick his nose out and you know, and get crucified just for supporting, you know, Black and White or Chrono Mechanics or whatever. And you know what? He did, you know, like openly on Facebook or Twitter, he'd say, yeah, you know, good stuff, man. Keep it going. You know, keep the faith. And and you know what? I mean, that meant a lot to me, you know, because one, he didn't have to do that. And I don't think he lives under a rock or did. I think he knows what the politics of the times were. And he still did it. And I always appreciated that. And I was really, really sad to hear his passing. He's definitely one of those guys. I mean, he influenced me big time. So I still look at this body bag stuff. And this was a few years ago, but this is still a source of influence for me, like inspiration. I have it in the studio. I'll crack it open every once in a while. I'll look at the line work and I'll go, wow, this is really good. His characterizations were great. You know, like, oh, he's a great artist. He's a good storyteller, man. His characters are great. The stories are good. Panda and Bob, what's the clown face guy's name? There's Panda and what's the guy's name in Body Bags?
I think it's Clownface.
I think
Is it
yeah,
just
I think it's Clownface.
Okay.
I haven't read it. I haven't looked.
That's her. No, her father's has a
I remember
name.
loving that book.
Well, he has a name, but I can't. I think. Yeah. No. He's his killer name is Clownface, but his original name was like Mick or Mac or something.
I think it's Mac. Yeah. Remember the old guy? Was it Mac's dad, like the grandfather that had like that little cool helmet thing that was like bolted into his skull?
Yeah, I mean, look it up here.
God, it was just so good. The story is so good, and it's so wrong. Like all that stuff is so wrong. Like I think the opening of the original Clownface bursts in, and there's like this crack house, and he just knifes this pregnant woman through the belly.
Yeah, Mac Delgado was his name, but his killer name was Clownface.
Clownface, yeah. Just great stuff, and you could see the evolution of the style and the way the characters changed over time. They became kind of more like animation style and things, but it still kept that kind of grit and that rawness. Anyways, brother, you're gonna be missed, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think that Marvel Romita Jr. thing was influenced by it? You know, the one they made the movie out of, the I always forget the name of it.
Kick-Ass,
yeah. Because it was very like anti-political, well, not anti-political, but you know, there's no social friendly-ness to either one of those properties.
No, I think you're right, and that was Mark Miller, right?
Mark Miller.
Yeah.
Miller.
If you look at all of Mark Miller's work,
they are
all contrived from something. It's like this meets this with a Mark Miller twist. Like everything, it's so. And I'm not putting it down. I'm not, because I'm enjoying.
He's made it work.
But I don't know how.
He's built an empire, man.
If any of us tried it, we would be called on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He does it, and it's like, oh man, it's freaking genius. And was there Potholes? Was that Mark Miller? No, not Potholes. What was it? It was called
Plot Holes.
Chrono. No, there was Chrono.
That's how he writes plot holes.
Chrononauts.
Chrononauts.
Yeah.
And when I saw that and I read the write up, I was like, man, that's Chrono Mechanics. It's like, it's a little bit more serious, and there's Sean Gordon Murphy art, but it was similar in nature. And so like, yeah, Mark is an interesting guy, and I don't know how he was able to do it, but I think you hit the nail on the head, Rob. Like that is definitely inspired by Body Bags.
So he'll read something, go, that was really cool, I want to do my version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, he's so full of shit. I did a signing with him when he was doing the Ultimates, and I was working on the Ultimate books. And so we're at, was it Dynamic Forces or whatever? We're signing all this stuff. And so he goes to the restroom. There's always, we all, like, you guys all have to admit, in the bathroom is your library, right? You have a stack of comics right next to the toilet. Every comic book artist does, right? So in the office there's a stack of comics. So then Mark comes out, and the Ultimates thing's already happening and all that. and he looks at it, and it's a reprint of the Captain America origin, with Bucky, like being left behind and Cap going after the missile and blows up and all that stuff. And then he's like, oh my gosh. He goes, I can't believe this. And everybody's like, what, Mark? And he's like, this is exactly how I wrote it. And he goes, and I had no idea that this was the Captain America origin. And all of us, we all yelled, that's bullshit.
Sure, Dan.
But he
Well, it's
was
just
like
like-
patting himself on the back, like somehow he came up with it.
Like that's like that book Superior he did was just basically Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not even the first one to do that. That was it Miracle Man or whatever, the Alan Moore stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was done even before that. But I still pick it up, man. I still buy it. I still enjoy the hell out of it, And he's got that Netflix deal, so we can't argue with that.
Yeah.
No.
Untouchable.
Untouchable.
More money.
Although, what was that one movie? And it was a concept that he did for Top Cow.
Wanted?
Wanted.
Man, that movie could not have been any different than the comic.
Oh my God, man!
No, dude, no.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
Because the book was so late and so behind that when they were pitching it, they only had like half of the first issue or something to send to him, and he hadn't even plotted out the rest of it, and it got approved for the movie, and they were still trying to figure out the comic book. So that's why the comic book is. That's why the movie's so different than the comic book, because the comic book, the movie is based on roughly the first
issue.
The pitch, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the magic bullet in Wanted.
Yeah.
There's that one shot where she kills herself, right? So she shoots it and it curves around the room.
The bullet curve and stuff.
I don't know. I only remember the soundtrack from that movie. It was very like British rock and roll. Like it was cool. Like the soundtrack was really cool in that movie. But
I only saw that movie once. It was like scar tissue. Like it's all like
for a cast that good.
Yeah.
For a cast as good as they had, that movie was dog shit.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yes.
I
That
like
movie
it.
was bad.
I thought it was
I mean,
weird, like that whole weaving machines, and that movie was just really freaking
Weird.
strange.
Weird.
Like
It was weird.
Kingsman. Like we should just do a whole show on like Mark Miller. But like Kingsman, I like the concept. It was like James Bond, meets like Austin Powers or something. It was part campy. Well, I guess Bond.
It was a mix of James Bond, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and the Prisoner.
No, actually throw in Harry Potter because it was a school. So it's like James Bond meets Harry Potter.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Without the magic.
Well, it wasn't a school. They had like a group of people, but it wasn't a school. They didn't have.
No, they all kind of bunked together.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it was like they were basically recruits.
Yeah.
Well, school training. They were there to learn. Okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed most of the British writers in comics, in the movie stuff and the TV stuff that they do all the same thing. Instead of having action, they have boring, and then they have shock, and then they have boring, and then they have shock, and then someone makes sure that there's a little bit of action sprinkled in there, and you're like, I'd rather see some action than this shock. But they all do it, and they all have this like, dialogue, shock, shock. You're like, dude, come on, man.
He's got the formula. The formula works, and he pays well, and he gets like A-list artists to work on those things. There was that what is it called? Magic. What was that thing he did with Order? Yeah,
I think that's Oliver Copiel. He's got working on that.
Fuck,
He's got Travis drawing again.
Does he?
Travis is drawing one of the projects for him in his new style.
Is he actually drawing?
Yeah, I've seen like 3 pages of it that Travis drew.
What's it called? I'll look it up.
It's all new stuff. If you go on Mark Miller's timeline on Twitter and scroll back, I think it'll pop up like a week or 2 ago.
Hey Bob, you're better at this than me. I'm going to try it as well. Travis.
What's Travis's new style?
Use your kung fu, Bob. He's changed his like dash line stuff into this.
There we go.
But you found it?
It's this
Mark
line
Miller's
work.
new-
It's
yeah.
this line work cross hatching that looks different.
And you know what it kind of reminds me
What's
of? It kind of reminds me of Frank Quietly.
Well, post it up. Let's
Yeah.
show this stuff off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hang on
I
a
want to
minute.
see it
Yeah.
too.
Oh, wait a minute. And that is Quietly. Oh shit. I was
Yeah,
gonna say, what the hell, man?
quietly does a lot of stuff with Mark Miller too. So that's not a
Alright, hang on.
surprise. Here, let me see if I can find
Travis
it too.
Shiraz.
Yeah. Mark Miller's new Netflix comic with Frank Quietly and Travis Charest.
Oh,
So
Is it
Frank
doable?
will draw most of it, and Travis will draw covers.
Also, Travis isn't doing the interiors; he's just doing covers.
No, that's just my
what I
guess 'cause
saw
Travis
was
is
a
so
couple
slow.
of interior pages.
Wow.
But, he's got a team, dude. Is him, Frank Quietly, Travis Charest, Oliver Coipel, Matteo Buff. I don't know who that guy is.
I wonder if
Um,
Travis changed his style because
Oh
everybody's ripping it off.
shit! Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah, I got the page right here.
I found a whole article. This is.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
Quietly.
this is-
Oh, there's
Yeah, there's
is it-
something
is-
on.
You guys are gonna
Reading
love
Cool's
this.
got
So
some.
yeah.
Yeah,
check
it
this
does
out,
look
you
really
guys.
good.
Everybody in the chat, you guys are gonna get some wow factor. So this is what is this? Bleeding Cool.
Bleeding
Is that
Cool.
what it
Yeah,
is?
that's the.
Yeah. This is all Quietly stuff here, which is pretty cool. I like his style. It's real linear. It reminds me of oh my gosh, what is the guy's name? He did all that stuff
Jeff
in the
Darrow?
Matrix. Jeff
Jeff
Darrow.
Darrow.
Yeah.
Jeff Dar. Jeff Dar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! Look at this. It's
I
very
like the
European.
storytelling. I don't like his art. Yeah, I never
Yeah,
liked his art.
I like the ink line. I like just that like free form kind of European.
What was it? I'm trying to remember. There was a series of
monotone line.
books that this reminds me of.
I know Tim Townsend liked to ink it
Refresh.
because of the art
Oh
sales.
shit!
Okay, so this is
Oh,
Travis
here you go.
here.
Oh wow.
So you
Oh
see
my
how
God.
it's like a little different than his older stuff. It's a little bit more.
There's some digital. Yeah, there's digital stuff here.
Yeah, and like the rendering lines on it, it's just
Looks more gray, right? Grayscale.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he's always
kind of
done
messed with
grayscale. But there's digital stuff in here too.
It probably, yeah.
It's very clean. So this looks like it's digitally inked, or he's got another person inking it because this is really really clean. Oh,
He's probably
my
just
gosh,
drawing it
it's a
up.
double
If
page.
you
God.
zoom in on the double page spread, it's insane.
Yeah, that's all.
Just the
computer.
fact that you would do all those beams.
Jeez.
No.
It's probably a 3D model. That warehouse.
Could be.
But you don't know how anal some artists are, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like I know how to do CGI, and I refuse to use it in my comic books. Just that I feel like
I
I'm
don't
cheating.
I think he hand did all that.
Yeah, I want to believe that this was all painstakingly done. But there's digital effects like this lighting and stuff. Like there's definitely digital in here. Like I do a hybrid of digital and like hand drawn. But the line work doesn't look like it's hand done. It looks it's very clean. It's very digital.
Yeah.
And the angles are perfect, maybe too perfect. For example, that perspective down there with the whole like ornament thing. Yeah, that looks like he uses eights. And I'm
oh man, those are the bat poles right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
Going
pretty
down the bat
much.
pole.
Yeah, dude.
Again,
Wow.
Mark
Cool.
Miller coming up with original ideas.
Nice.
He's got 60 years of original ideas to tap from.
Oh, is this
Oh,
Kircher or whatever, Carl?
I'm not sure. Carl
he-
Kerschel, yeah.
Yeah, Kirschel. He draws in like animation. I love this guy's work. I think he does animation as well.
Say nothing about this, man. He puts together a good team.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
this is going to be a beautiful book.
I'm looking forward to this already. Oh my gosh.
I don't
Well,
like the
see-
change of art. I don't like that.
You know, like
it's,
what?
they're all short
One guy
stories.
drawing one thing.
Well, no, it's all short stories. So you
Oh, I
each
don't like
artist on a
stories.
story.
Dude,
So it's an anthology book with all these artists. They
I
all
always
get their
hated
own story.
anthologies.
speaking
buy
of
them.
For these artists,
God, Rob, you hate
I'll buy it.
speaking of artists,
Oh,
though,
hell
did you see
yeah.
that that guy that Clayton Barton shared, that Alfredo Alcala, man?
Yeah,
No.
he's an old school dude, man.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've never even heard of that guy, and I looked at it, I was
Filipino.
like, holy shit! That is like, there's nobody that people don't do art like that anymore. It's insane. It's freaking beautiful, man.
And he was fast.
Okay, I'm going to share the piece that he shared.
Yeah.
And think about this
Yeah.
guy being able to do this quickly. It's
This-
like,
He started his own
how?
Looking
studio.
forward to this. Well, when does it say it's coming out? It says the biggest artist of the past 5 years, and your job will drop to see.
Well, they were
We blog, and will be announced on the 7th of May. So the 7th of May, I guess, of this year.
Yeah. No, 7th of May came and went, and then they made another announcement in December.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So it's
Oh,
22.
yeah.
22. Okay.
Share this piece, man. I want you guys to look at this.
They're probably waiting on Travis's last couple pages.
How the
I-
hell does somebody
Probably.
do that fast?
I bet they're waiting on everybody.
Oh, he didn't do this fast.
That's just
dude, that's
that's
insane.
This is
freaking-
illustration. This is not comic books.
Yeah.
This is illustration.
This is biblical, though, man.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
Oh my
full
God.
on illustration. This is like Bernie Wrightson level Frankenstein stuff right here.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh my God, I wouldn't even know where to start with something like this.
I would, and I would just get lost in this thing.
You start in the top corner and you just move
Oh,
across the
geez.
page.
And you
This is
noodle,
on
and you noodle, and you noodle, and you
this
noodle.
is just on another
and you
level,
draw
man.
every nook and cranny and every rock, and you draw
You-
every
Look
render
at
of
this.
shadow line.
Look at this. Look
and
at
then
this.
your wife
and then
left. And yeah.
think about the dog shit that they put out today.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but
the
this was
picture of
this
the
was
Joker
not
giving birth.
monthly. This was not monthly comics though.
No,
No,
And I
no,
have
no.
to-
Even something half as good as this.
There are artists. They're not all the comic book guys, but I used to always think this: like, if you gave Dan Jurgens like 3 months to draw a comic, would it look like, what would he come up with? And then there are certain guys, and Rob knows this, that you work with, and you realize it would look exactly the same. But
Yeah.
then there's guys like Travis or Art Adams or somebody like that, and you give them 3 months, 4 months, or whatever. They're going to give you, like Michelangelo.
I'll give you an example of a guy that can do both. Is Doug Mankey.
Yeah.
Doug Mankey can put out a monthly book, but if you gave Doug Mankey 3 months to draw a book, your jaw would drop on the floor. I've seen him do some stuff
Man,
where he had time to do it, and
I wanna-
it was just incredible.
Well, just the stuff he does on a monthly schedule is jaw-dropping. That dude is freaking phenomenal. And
Yeah.
by the way, Jaime Mendoza is his inker, and I trained him over at Hack Shack Studios.
Is he on your guys' art?
Hell yeah.
Art's like,
I worked as an assistant in Doug's studio, so our paths have crossed.
I tell you, man, I want to see
Doug's the real deal, man. He's really good.
Doug's
Some of the-
Doug's
some of these
pretty
guys.
awesome.
I want to see what they could do if
Was Pat Gleason in that? Because
Yeah,
for some
that's
reason those
who I
guys.
worked. Like when Pat and Doug were doing like Blackest Night and all that stuff, I was working as their assistant back then. So
Wow, that's sweet, man. You got to work with those guys. That's pretty cool.
those guys ran crazy. Like I remember being up at like 2 a.m, like cranking out pages and like running to FedEx for them in the morning to get pages out for like Blackest Night. It was, but yeah, they got it done and they like kept everything on schedule and they turned out like those guys busted ass on those books. So
Yeah, some people, they don't realize like how hard comic book artists work. I mean, it really is. It's a labor of love, because if this was any other profession, we would all be multi-millionaires, right?
Oh, yeah.
If we got paid what we were worth, oh my gosh, we'd all be rich beyond belief. It's incredible that we're treated like peasants. But you're not going to
Well,
find
it
a
always
harder
ama-
working group of people.
It always amazes me how few guys have put out their own creations that they own. You know what I mean? It's like you get like the top guys get that comfort level at the big two. And it's like once you get in there, it's like you don't want to leave or you don't want to create your own thing. And I mean, the Image guys showed like that it could be done, but there was still like everybody was still locked in that mindset of like the ultimate goal is to work at Marvel or DC, work on Batman or Spider-Man. And it was so ingrained in everybody as fans growing up, you know, I think that it was so hard to break through from that. Even when you see like a Frank Miller in Sin City, you see the Image guys, you see some of these creators make like the Walking Dead guy. It's like there's money to be made out there outside of the big two as a creator, and there's so many guys just locked in that mindset of like making it is working at Marvel or DC.
Well,
and that really isn't the case.
It's a level of comfort too, though.
Yeah, it's like a safety net.
Yeah, the guys, Ninja Turtles, come on.
Yeah,
but it's a money thing. Yeah. No one, if you keep most of the people on an average income in comic books, they can't afford to go off and do their own thing.
Yeah.
And then the guys on top, they're like, why would they want to risk doing their own book when they already know that they're going to sell their covers for $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000? There's an income that's already established. They're like, why would they go anywhere else? And you can you see exactly what happened when DC cut page rates. They all left.
To lead into something that we were talking about before, do you think that that's a part of the whole thing where like no more superstar artists or creators to one, keep them working for the mainstream,
and
prevent them from going and doing their own thing?
Yeah, well, now it's the pay is so low that people are going to go do their own thing just because they're like, dude, I don't want to create something and then it becomes a movie and you give me a $6,000 check for it. I mean,
there's another thing to think about is that there are some people that aren't independent minded like us. You know,
they don't want.
I know that Clint probably got eaten up in the mainstream. He's just way too independent minded. You know, like this is definitely the best place that Clint could ever be to create comic books. And there are guys that just are not like that.
Sean Gordon Murphy.
I could conform, but my heart was always independent. I worked in the underground. I worked with like the Freak Brothers, like the drug comics when I first broke in. And I worked with like Renegade Press, like Cerebus, like just stuff like that, the Jim Valentino, and stuff like that. And, you know, my heart was like, I'm just going to make like these crazy, you know, indie books. And I would have stayed there if there was money in it. You know what I mean? But I needed to pay my rent. And I just heard that Marvel and DC paid, and they paid on time. So those two things meant so much to me in the early days. And I just put a portfolio together and looked for work at Marvel and DC. But if I was making the money I needed to make, I probably never would have pursued it, because at that point, I wasn't like, I just want to draw Batman or I just want to draw Superman or Spider-Man or whatever it was. I wanted to tell my own stories. So in a weird way, I go like 30 some odd years telling everybody else's stories to finally get back to where I've always wanted to be, you know, which is creating my own stuff. But there are just people that aren't like that. Like I can't see Mark Bagley writing and creating an independent book. I can Dan Jurgens actually, but Jurgens would still need help to put it together. But I think there are people that, and you know these guys, Rob, that you've worked with that probably couldn't do it. You know,
no, they want the schedule. They already know how much they're going to make a week. Mark Bagley's the kind of guy that if you cut his page rate, he'd just draw more pages
faster.
But
I'm going beyond that. Like, I don't think it's in his wheelhouse to create a universe. I don't think it's in his wheelhouse to create an IP. Like that. That's a certain type of person.
The point. Yeah.
But I don't think he would definitely have to dig to do it. I'm not saying that he can't do it. But I don't think it's in his wheelhouse creatively to do that.
No,
and there are a
otherwise,
lot
yeah.
of people that are page rate guys. They're
Yeah.
just like 9-to-5ers or whatever. They
Mhm.
go in there, they do their page, and then they get
Yeah.
out. But as far as creating, writing, making a universe, it's just out of their realm. They need
otherwise
a
he would have done that with some writer by now if he was even interested in that.
You also get people like Sean Gardner Murphy who do have the ability to do that, but doesn't like the business side of it. Like when he put that book out, the plot holes. Like he could have if he'd gone on the stream circuit, if he'd been created his own YouTube channel, if he'd really pushed in the marketing,
He shot himself in the foot.
He shot himself in the foot hard.
Well,
and now he's like,
just to give Sean credit, like Sean had a foot in indie and in the mainstream. So what he could do is he could establish his name doing the best-selling character in the industry, which is Batman, and then he could take that audience and he could bring it over into independent. And the guy's smart enough that he knows that he can kind of bounce the two. It's a lot of work, but he can make it happen. The thing that he did with plot holes is it was more political. Like, I don't think he understood the people he was placating. I don't think he understood the woke audience. Because the woke audience, who he thought was his friend, they turned on him. Comicsgate were the guys that were like, come on over here. We'll support you. We were talking up that stuff. We didn't understand his business model, or lack thereof. But yeah, I think Plot Holes was mostly just a political clusterfuck.
He just got, I just don't think he likes it because he didn't like, beyond doing some stuff on Twitter and stuff like that, he didn't go on any shows, talk about it. He didn't even because there are woke streamers and stuff out there too. He didn't go on any of their stuff. He just wanted to put the thing out and didn't want to deal with anything else.
Well, he did see what we were doing in Comicsgate. He did try to do the Comicsgate template. He started a YouTube channel and he was doing that stuff, Bob, but he wasn't all in. And also he didn't give it time to develop. And there are people that just don't quite have the personality of, say, us. Like they're just not entertaining people.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, his whole attitude was like, I'm gonna make $1 million with this campaign.
Yeah, that
he
didn't
came right
help
out of the
him
bat
either.
saying stuff like that, and to me it was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just like, dude, you can't come up. I mean, as much as he did like Batman and awesome, you're not selling Batman now. This is your thing. People don't know yet,
Right.
So it's a different attitude, man.
And I think what Rob does is he tries to go like he's bragging, but he's trying to be humble. He's bragging, but he's trying to be humble. So both of the humble part to me seems insincere, right? Like I know the guy's like, fuck, I'm successful beyond belief. Like I'm this, I'm that. Showing off his cars, his house, and that's fine. I mean, be proud of that stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you go like, I've been very fortunate, like when you start like I've been lucky and like stuff like that. I think, and he says things that are worse than that, but I can't think of the exact things that he says. But he tries to be humble while he's bragging because he doesn't want anybody to go, oh, look at the blowhard. But to me, like my favorite thing is like I listen to those like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley from Kiss, right?
Yeah.
Those guys make no apologies for their success. They go, I worked my fucking ass to be here. This is my mansion. This is my universe. Welcome. I work my ass off and I'm proud of everything I have. And they say, only in America, baby. Only in America.
Only in America.
And to me, like, that's the way to go, man. That false humility. Who has time for that? Who cares?
Yeah,
right?
the false humility.
Yeah, dude. I want to make a video like, here's my elephant. I painted him pink.
Yeah, my tigers. These are my tigers.
This is my tigers. And this is my pet chick.
Yeah,
My
There's
Hey,
a
I
certain
got
charm
trouble.
in that, right? There's
Yeah.
Tommy Lee on his yacht, steering with
Yeah.
his cock, like with his hot
Yeah, dude.
Like
exactly.
this is how you do it, man. Like
Yeah, dude.
he's just like, he's not saying, it was really hard in the early days,
Dude.
and he's driving around with the most beautiful woman, and all this stuff. Like he's just like, he's there, he's having a good time, and that shit's infectious, right? That's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
look at you, man. You're having a great time with your money. Who would fault somebody like that, right?
Yeah. And if you have that much sex, it can be infectious too. So
doesn't it come across kind of sociopath when the people that are really successful, but they're like afraid that their audience isn't gonna like them, so then they talk about like, oh yeah, man, McDonald's is getting expensive. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
like you just like, dude, what are you? It's like they can't relate to normal people.
Like,
so
he's like, no, I went to buy McDonald's. Not buy something at McDonald's. I just went to buy McDonald's. They're getting really expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Those franchises are outrageous.
Man, 2-3 million a pop? What the hell?
Yeah. Well, there's that video that we did on one of the King show. Were you there, Rob, for it? And they were playing like Sean Gordon Murphy's video of his home, his studio, and he's talking about like buying multiple houses, renting this house, doing that. I mean, he's a business guy, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
But just don't have any shame. Just be very matter of fact about it. And if anybody says, "Look at you flaunting your stuff," it's like, hell yeah, I worked my ass off for this stuff. I'm very proud of what I've obtained. And if anything, like hopefully, the message is getting out there. If you're going to do anything, like you're trying to send a message, say anybody can do this.
Yeah, just you can't do what I do, so shut the hell up.
Yeah, and don't try to pretend you're still part of you're one of the people when you're like, dude, you're not one of the people anymore. Just you work super hard, you got to success. Just admit it. Don't tell me that rice is getting expensive.
Right. And there's one thing that he did that I did like, and he was posting like page rates, and he was talking about like the majority of people working in comics are below poverty. Like if you block out, like you do the math, right? You go, break it down to an hourly, how much hours you spend on a page versus like if you made minimum wage, and a lot of artists are basically making minimum wage or less, working in the comics industry. Putting in some serious hours and have mad skills. Like, you don't get to this point without having some kind of talent, right? This isn't like anybody could do. You get a training, you watch a training film at McDonald's and you're able to flip burgers. It's not that easy. It takes time. Yeah, so I like when he was doing that, because I thought that was a ballsy thing to do, because not a lot of people talk about the money.
There's such a stigma. There's such a stigma attached with freelancers about talking about what their page rates are. Yeah. Like even to each other. It's like always like if you could get somebody to tell you what their page rate was, it was but Clint, wow, I can't believe he told me that. But it was
Clint, don't you feel that's by design?
Yes.
That people don't talk about their page
editors
rate.
Don't want you talking about your page rate.
Yeah, dude.
Because guess what? The next guy's gonna come in. Well, so and so's getting this. Why I want to raise?
Yeah, they don't want the comparison. But the thing is, like what I started doing, and Rob, you're gonna love this. I tried to not. It wasn't like a union, but just a group of inkers, right? And I was talking to what is the Inker Awards? What is that? The Ink Pots or whatever I forget the guy that runs that in the Charlotte.
The Ink Stain.
What is it? Inkwell. It's
there's the Inkwell Awards.
Inkwell, the Inkwell, and they have the award ceremony at Charlotte. It's the Charlotte Con or whatever. And so I was talking to him, and then I was just like Richard Friend, like he got it when I pitched him. Like it's not so much a union, but we'll get together and we'll just start talking to other inkers, right? Yeah. We'll just start talking. We'll share page rates. We'll talk about industry stuff, but be very, very honest. And so then, God, I wish I could remember the Inkwell guys who puts that together. But Bob something, I forget his last name.
Is it Almond? Is it Almond?
Bob Almond, yes. I said I want a round table at the con. And we'll call it the Inkers in the round, right? Like the round table. And all the inkers that are invited to the show will be there. And we'll have panels and stuff like that. And then the Inkwell Awards and all that other stuff. So it'll be a celebration of ink. But also the main thing is just so we can just talk. We'll just trade stories and stuff. So I had like Richard Friend, because I was doing shows, and Richard, myself, and I think it was Danny Mickey. Like we were the three main guys. And so then we would invite other inkers and we do these panels and we would just talk openly. And so then we started talking about like, well, why don't we just do shows all over the place, invite whatever local inkers in, and we'll just kind of hang out, we'll talk. And then we'd have some kind of name, or like Inkers of the Round or something like that. And those guys were in on it. You know, they were down with it. A few years later I left DC, but what I wanted to do is just share mainly page rates. And so those guys weren't real forthright with it. Richard doesn't care. Like he'll tell you stuff. He's a very honest guy. But like Danny and like I talked to Norm Ratman and some other guys, and they were just like, I don't really want to tell my page rate and whatever. And so then
Norm listens, he doesn't share.
Oh, he did. All you have to do is tell them your page rate.
Oh.
So that's where the competitive nature comes in, right?
Yeah.
So one of two things happens. Either they want to volunteer because they're making more than you, or they want to volunteer because they're not making as much as you. So you can get those guys to come clean so easily because they go, you're making that, or they're like, oh, I'm making more money. I can't believe you're not making the money I'm making. There's that kind of thing that happens, but it's all good, right? Like I didn't care. And but Norm, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Norm's all braggadocious about like he was making a little bit more than me, right? For just like inking. And I said, is that your normal rate or is that your exclusive rate? He goes, that's my exclusive rate. And I go, the rate I gave you, that's my rate. Like, because anybody who's listening, the exclusive is like per book. Like they'll go, here's a 6-issue exclusive on Adventures of Superman, right? But as soon as as soon as those 6 issues is done, that's not your page rate anymore. And so then I said, what's your main page rate? Oh my gosh, it was dirt low, man. It was
really,
it was so small. And you know what? I don't have fact on this. But I bet you he's probably making that money now, right? I mean,
the way they've cut rates everywhere across the board,
right? Because why would they honor the other agreement if they don't have to?
There's got to be only a handful of people in comics right now that are making like a real reasonable rate.
Yeah,
you can probably count them on one hand.
Like,
look at the art in the books. You know, there's like John Romita Jr. I'm sure he's making a ton of money per page.
Well, the Kuberts and Ramita, those guys are like royalty. Like they're like the prince.
That's like a whole. Yeah, they're untouchable.
They're like the royal family.
But just your average artists, average pencilers and inkers at Marvel and DC, like their rates are back down to what you were complaining about, like in the early 90s, of where you're just scraping by. Like that's where the rates have gone back down to.
If not lower.
I heard the ink rates at Marvel, if you weren't on an X book, it was like $100 a page.
That's like Archie rates, man.
Yeah.
But, speaking of Richard Friend, have you guys checked out his Blaster Kid?
Blaster Kid looks awesome,
cool.
Dude. I've got it pulled up right here, Art. If you want to take a look at it, it's awesome.
That book looks fantastic. Yeah,
and
really Richard's he's a really good guy too. So he's got a Indiegogo pre-launch page.
Yep.
So you can
I just put it in the chat.
Oh, you got it in. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. That's gorgeous,
dude. There's a page coming up here in a second. Jeez, this is bonkers.
Well, this is Alfredo Acola level stuff, right? This is illustration. This is what you do when you have time and just
motivation.
Yeah, and this is like a labor of love for him, man. He plans to be working on this book for like the next 10, 15 years.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
this world that he's creating here.
Yeah.
This is so cool, man. Like the hair right there. I get like old school Will Spartasio vibes from that.
Yes, I was wondering what it reminded me of.
He's taken a lot of influences from all the awesome stuff he's inked over the years at Wildstorm. He's kind of merged it into his own thing.
There's some Travis in there.
Travis, Wills, all that stuff you can see.
Jay Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
This is just like this. Like I wish I could zoom in on the line work on this thing because it's bonkers.
And he's a really humble guy. He's a really good guy.
Who's the guy who created Aliens? There's some
Geiger
stuff.
There's definitely that. You look back like some of the creatures and stuff.
Yeah,
like the skulls are embedded within the machinery.
We'll get him on the show. We'll get him on Pontificators.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear from him.
Right here, like this has got some of that biomechanical from Geiger in it.
Yeah, it looks, everything I've seen looks really
and then,
awesome.
Like the smoke up here has got that Bernie Wrightson feel to it. It's just like tons and tons and tons of cross hatching.
Oh yeah.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a big fan of Geiger, but the thing you get your books, you're gonna get a lot of peen.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that gets me away.
But what I'm really hoping is that there is absolutely no color on this book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would just be a shame. I mean, the only thing they could do is like flat color. But even that, I don't want to see.
It's better like this. It's better like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put out a black and white, just because
that makes sense.
It makes sense, and also I'm really happy with the way the line work has come out. And to me, nothing against the colorists I've worked with in the past.
I love,
but it's always like I just like the black line,
Yeah.
There's something about that black ink line that is absolutely fantastic. I think like some colors can plus work when it's really open or simple, but if you're putting lines in there and you're doing complex kind of line art and you're doing gray tones with the hatching and stuff, it almost doesn't make sense to put that kind of heavy color in there.
I mean, I love it. Like, you're an amazing colorist, but can you please go away?
Can you just simplify it?
Yeah, exactly.
Half the questions on Death Raider have been, is there going to be a black and white version? So even if I didn't do a black and white version, I have to do a black and white version just because so many people keep asking me about it.
Yeah, I definitely think like your work, because there's just so much going on. And the color that I've seen of your work, it does work with the line work.
Yeah,
so I think yours would definitely be one of those additive. Like I think black and white will be an additive. It'll be like they'll both be equally as good, just different. You know what I mean? Like it's not that one's better than the other. It's just different. And what else I want to do is Sean Gordon Murphy put out that Tokyo Ghost 11x17 book through Image.
I want that book.
I have it. It is. Oh my gosh,
it's so expensive now, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was reasonably priced when it first came out, and I knew it was going to be limited. But that format is so cool, man. I really like that, and it's softback. Did they do one hardbound or?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can you imagine, that Blaster Kid? Can you imagine doing something like that in 11x17?
Oh. I would love to see that. I don't know if some of that looks digital. I'm not sure. I've seen him like photos of him work. I don't even think he's using a nib anymore. I think he's using markers too. And so, but I think some of it's digital. I think there's some hybrid stuff going on there. I can't wait for that book. Does anybody know when that book's coming out?
He's taking his time with it. I think he's he's got the pre-sign up page for it. So
that's
can't be that far in the future.
Yeah, and you guys
launch, but I gotta imagine the book isn't coming out till later this year at the earliest.
At the earliest,
unless he's like got the ability to do the whole book before he launches the campaign.
Now the book is going to be colored though. Kelsey's doing colors on it. Kelsey Shannon.
Well, Kelsey will do a good job. Man.
God damn.
But
Kelsey would treat him right.
Yeah, dude. Kelsey's another guy who's amazing because he draws like an animator. Like the way he constructs his shapes, like he has action analysis down. Like I'm really amazed because that's really hard for me. Like a lot of comic book artists don't really like get action analysis, and they use a lot of reference, and then you see like a lot of stiff poses. I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm just talking about books I've seen. But dude, Kelsey,
I think you were talking about Todd's work.
No,
I thought he was talking about me.
No, I'm not.
You guys want to hawk your stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
pimp your crap,
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd.
Yeah.
You know I love you, right?
We missed you.
I know.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. It's important to me to know that that Todd Mulrooney is my buddy, my pal, and you're never going to leave me, right? This is forever, right? Am I going too far?
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm
He
sorry,
wants you to
Mr.
know
Hackman.
your love, man.
I may be going too far. Well, let's
Forever's
start with
a long
Rob
time.
Death Raider Hunter. Do you have a link? Or is poor Bob going to have to find all you?
He's going to have to find
deadbeat
it because I'm
stuff?
on my iPad.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I can't share
God.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
But
Poor
if you go to
Bob.
deathraider.com, I have a link straight to Indiegogo from there, the sign up page.
Well, also the link is in the description. Slow down, Art. Yeah, for Death Raider.
The Death Raider.
Kelty is making magic
Kelty.
lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Richard Friend is CG. I think he just does things. He doesn't put up barriers. He doesn't put up walls. He just does what he wants to do. So I think it's kind of like Eric Canetti. Like Canetti will hang out with us, but he never says like I am Comic Skater or anything like that. So I have a feeling that Richard will be the same. And I'm a big subscriber to this. Like if it's matter of fact, it'll be fine. Like you don't have to necessarily declare something or whatever. Just be matter of fact about it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference if he shares everybody else's, he retweets everybody's stuff and he goes on stuff like this and talks about it,
Right.
It's the same thing. If he
Yeah,
helps
I mean-
promote everybody's stuff.
It's just
I mean,
normal.
the fans like to hear high comic skate at some point. Like, that's a given. But dude, if you act right, there shouldn't be a problem. So.
Well, and if you put out a good enough product like the way his pages look like,
Yeah,
you're not
that's
going to care whether he's CG or not. That
Yep.
book looks gorgeous.
Yeah, you're gonna get it. So let's move on to Todd and see what Todd has, and we'll wait for the death. Well, it's a sign up, right? So there is some. Do you have any artwork?
There's a video
Or
on
you-
there.
Yeah, there's a trailer.
Video. Yeah.
Well, where is
I've
it?
I've got it if you want me to pull it up.
Yeah.
A trailer done by Jimmy Reyes.
Yes.
I'm kind of hurt, Rob.
I gotta tell you.
I
I'm a
didn't know
little
you yet,
hurt.
Pedro.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. That's all right.
All right, is this it? The Rest in Power?
No, yeah, this is it. You ready?
Okay.
So we can hear
Yes.
it.
Oh, okay, we're showing it. Okay, I was like, all right, I'm just waiting for you to say go.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. You cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough to see.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Rob Hunter there. The link is in
Hell
the
yeah.
description. Go by, sign up for Death Raider. When you think of launching that bad boy, Rob?
Oh, I'm launching it in like less than a month. I'm launching it next month.
Shit.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Sweet.
mid-February.
Sweet.
Yes. So
How are you doing with the
That's a
signups, man?
Yeah.
what?
How are you doing with the signups?
Um
Is it
I,
moving?
I'm not at the Clint
Uh-oh.
said the sweet spot of 800 to 1,000, so I don't have that.
Oh,
But it's been progressively climbing since I first started, and considering
cool.
this is my first campaign, and I really kind of jumped onto the hey, I'm with Comicsgate. Like, I mean, how long have I been here? Like 4 months, maybe. So
It seems like days.
Seems like days, dude.
or years. It just depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm having a blast working on the pages, and I really wanted to do something that was my favorite characters, influenced by my favorite characters, and I also wanted to do some cool soldier, like.
Did you say my favorite characters influenced by my favorite characters?
Yes, I'm influenced by my favorite characters, which is my favorite characters. So.
I mean, that makes
that's hurting my brain right now.
The thing with the guy with the thing and the thing and the guy and the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That made perfect sense in my head, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But my
well, little known fact, Pedro is dyslexic.
That's why he understands me so well.
Yes.
Thank you, Pedro. Thank you.
He's your people.
That.
He's one of your
people.
Yeah.
Yes. But my favorite characters are Batman, Wolverine, and Iron Man. So I kind of, smashed all of those together in a recipe and came up with Death Raider.
You threw him in a blender. I'm glad I asked because I didn't know what that meant. And poor Clint, I saw the smoke coming out of the top of Clint's head. He was like, you're melting his brain.
He's like, I'm listening to Rob.
Yeah. Let's see what Todd Mulrooney. I know you're working on some of those killer sketch cards. What else are you doing, Todd?
Well, we kind of wanted to give away something for free, me and the writer. So we came up with a epilogue book a prologue book that'll be called Catalyst, and that'll lead into the whole universe and why certain things are happening. So we came up with this really good idea, and it'll be something that we give away either by PDF or physical copy when we go to conventions and stuff like that.
So you're not going to crowdfund it?
No, not this part. Not this. This leads into the SWL.
Ty, could it be something you share on your website so that people it helps hype your next crowdfunding project?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are.
So this is more or less early promotion for the series, right? That you're talking about now.
Yeah, it's a story. It has some flashbacks to it, and then it's sort of a chase.
Like an ash can?
Huh?
Kind of like an
ash can? It would be like an ash can. The idea was to have something that we could hand out or give away or use as self-promotion, because it'd be hard for people to buy in that these wrestlers are more than meets the eye kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So it really sets up the universe as far as why are there metas, but there are no superheroes? And that's kind of where this is all kind of going. And there's a reason for that. And so this will help get there.
The stuff that you showed before, it looks great. And as soon as you have more to show, let us
absolutely.
See
yeah. These are as soon as I get a new device, my device that I draw on, XP Pen, went to and XP Pen gave up on their customer service altogether.
Oh,
the phone number is, we're not in the office. It's just and I've been dealing with this for months. They have sent me some new pens, and I keep telling them it's not the pen, it's the digitizer. The digitizer is part of the hardware. So when I put my pen to the surface, it makes these X's, like a star.
So maybe that'll be your new style. You can draw.
It can be the X guy, yeah.
Yeah,
and they've completely abandoned their customers.
Oh man.
Well, I hope you get it worked out. I just want to go back for a moment. I was kind of thinking the same thing about.
Hey, wait a
minute.
Hey, wait! Whoa, that's not right. So Bob, I know you got a killer YouTube. You draw every once in a while. You like wrestling. So, what's going on? What do you have to?
It's a little bit of a disappointing week. The reason I said rest in power is because the guy that Jay Briscoe, he's a wrestler. He was killed yesterday.
Oh shit!
In a car accident. His two daughters were in the car with him. They're both in critical condition.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so not a good day for the wrestling fans yesterday.
Dude.
But yep, just tomorrow's not promised, guys. He was 38 years old.
Who was it, Bob?
Jay Briscoe,
Yeah,
one of the Briscoe brothers.
Yeah, I didn't know what that meant, so I'm sorry if I made light of it.
No. It's you're good, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's a little depressing. But no, I mean, check out Wrestling Council if you like professional wrestling. It's a fun thing. I don't know why I'm not streaming my drawing and stuff like that. I'm still doing it and everything. It's just like I get tired. I'm like,
Hey,
I don't want to deal with it.
What happened to Antonio Bryce? Didn't you have a wrestling show with Antonio?
That's the Wrestling Council. They originally created. It was originally created by Boogie Bentley, who was another Comicsgate guy.
Okay.
And Antonio was on there. Antonio pulled me into it. He's the one that actually got me into it. And then they had a falling out, and I took it over and tried to keep it alive. But this on the 28th, we're doing a live stream for the WWE's The Royal Rumble, and Boogie and Antonio both are going to be back. I've actually been talking to Antonio. He's kind of in a better place than he was a while back. He kind of, he was dealing with depression and a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen him popping up in social media a little bit more lately. Yeah.
He got himself right, and he's in a relationship now, so he's slowly working his way back. I'd like to see him make a comeback. To be honest,
he was good on camera, man. He was a
fun guy.
I think that was one of the very first shows that I ever went on. Was me and Mark Polton promoting Sea Dog and Kill Switch. Was I think on Antonio Bryce's channel?
Yeah, on Akari Press. Yeah,
and I'd never been on a YouTube show before.
Yeah, he's a fun dude. Remember when Ethan wanted to do a morning show with him? Just him and
they were doing something like that for a while. Yeah.
But no, he ran into some problems.
Life can smack you in the face.
Life can suck.
Yeah.
No, like I said, he got himself squared away pretty decently, and 28th on Saturday.
Good to hear, man.
Get out.
Yeah.
And that's something I like. I like about Comicsgate as well. I was like, the one thing they like better than tearing down SJWs is a comeback story. So
yeah. Well, good. I'd like to see Antonio in CG YouTube again, and also Bob. We gotta talk a little bit behind the scenes and get that portfolio show going, because I think we'd make a good team on that. I think it'd be fun too. Somebody to throw, I think what would be great about it, if you guys don't know, last week I think we talked about it. I used to do a YouTube portfolio review, and it was a lot of fun. But my server it got crazy. I had this independent server, and I couldn't keep track of things anymore. And so I think it would be great if everything went, and then Bob could find the stuff, and don't show it to me before the show, right? And then just throw stuff at me, and then see what the hell I do with it, And,
what was it? Just talking about Richard and David Finch were doing a portfolio review show for a while, and it was really popular. People were like, "Please look at my stuff,"
like I said, my server was packed. I'm not that good with the computer, and just finding stuff, it was getting nuts. Just keeping track of everything. So that stuff pours in. And so what I was doing is I was getting 3 different artists. And so within an hour or something like that, I would go through the portfolio, and they would all range from, really, really good to just starting out and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I think one of them was Rob Willis early on, and Rob Willis is freaking brilliant now.
Do you have a digital tablet art?
No, what I do is I do it on Photoshop. I'm actually pretty good with the mouse, so I can work all that stuff out, and I can kind of draw
Dude,
over the stuff.
go buy a freaking iPad, man.
I have all that stuff. I have a Wacom. I have like top of the line, all that stuff. But the thing is, the learning curve. I just don't have the time.
No, just so that you like, you just be like friggin' what's his name? John Madden, man. Just here's a circle here, here's a square.
Well, I can do that with this.
Yeah.
I don't need anything fancy for that. But so Pedro,
Yeah.
other than black and white, high octane, and tropical magics, what's going on, man?
Well, right now I'm working on my next project called Waifus and Kaijus. We're doing the mailing list for Tropical Magic Second Chance, the last opportunity to get the Tiber cover here, and getting ready to start the animation kitchen, because I'm gonna teach you how to animate from my kitchen.
Teach you how to bake.
Yeah. So bake some nice animation. We're gonna cover the principles. It's all gonna be classical animation, guys. We're gonna use an open source software called OpenTunes. And if you follow me for 1 year, you'll be animating like a champion. So there's gonna be different tiers. There's gonna be free with a tip and jar. But if you want a more in-depth like classes, there's like I'm gonna make 3 classes a week with 8 people. So basically we'll all be in the StreamYard. It's gonna be private, and we can get like a one-on-one class. And I'm gonna keep it. I'm keeping that very like cheap, because I just want to spread the information out. So it's like $120 a month is gonna be. Then you can get like 1 class a week. It's gonna be 3 groups.
A guarantee.
Yeah, exactly. So
or your money back.
Or your money back. If you can't animate like a champ after a year, you can come down to Panama and kick my ass.
That's the commercial. That's how you gotta look right at the commercial, or like right at the camera and go, I will teach you how to animate
like a champ.
I will teach you. You will learn.
You will learn. I will teach and you will learn. All right, we got that to look forward to. Tropical Magic, the pre-launch page is in the description, so you guys can click on that. Go give your email address.
Yeah, it's moving slowly, but it's my fault. But it's moving slowly, the sign up. But I know it's a second chance. It's my fault. I haven't been that active, like promoting the book. But I've been like really busy this beginning of the year.
Never apologize.
And I'm just gonna get this ball rolling, because dude, like I enjoy making the book, and I hope you guys enjoy reading it.
It looks great. It looks great, man. I really dig your work. So
thank you.
It's a plus to get anything new from you. So we got Mr. Holinsky, Mr. Boobages.
I got my. I'm sharing my trailer art.
Oh, hold on. I didn't see it there.
Do you want to play my?
We've already moved on. God, what do you want, a full show? Jeez.
I feel disrespected.
I'm sorry, Clint. Pedro's being rude.
Yeah,
Pedro.
I'm throwing elbows.
Did it freeze?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
What happened?
So it froze. So it's not me.
We lost Pedro?
It's Pedro. Well,
Pedro!
It's not me, it's you.
I hope Panama's still there.
No, we lost Todd.
I'm back.
Todd! Nobody cares about you, Clint. Todd!
Todd's been gone for a while.
Todd!
You care about Todd? Todd's been gone for about 7 minutes.
Todd!
I think Art froze too.
I left 7 minutes ago. You just noticed.
Yeah.
What a terrible person.
Oh, it's a classic Pontificators
Pedro.
where everything goes to shit.
Oh my God!
Oh, no.
the freaking hell,
This
dude?
is like a classic episode of the Pontificators
Oh my
tonight,
God.
where
You know,
everybody
I wrote
freezes and Art just shakes his head, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I
So you
froze
guys
up
could see
a half
me?
hour ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see you
we can
now.
see you. We can
Well,
hear
well,
you.
finally, StreamYard's telling me having trouble connecting. This
Yeah.
is often caused by an unstable internet connection. Oh shit! What?
Oh
we
my
just lost
God.
Pedro. We just lost Pedro.
On
That's not my
tonight's
fault.
episode of the Pontificators, Todd leaves
Well-
early. Bob doesn't notice. Art's screen freezes, and
We're
it's
so
all
quiet.
your favorites laughing at their misfortune.
Yeah, and Clint never gets to pitch his book.
7:30 on CBS. It's
Well,
the
Gabe-
Pontificators.
Yeah, get in on this quick before we go.
Slave Girl is going to be closing out end of January, beginning of February here. I'll just play the trailer quick, and we'll get it out before anything else goes wrong.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lonely slave girl. Rest of the hands. I like it.
Boobies, space
Everything tugged
boobies.
against her.
Clint, are you coloring it
Yeah.
also?
I didn't see that coming. Unexpected. There's a lot of touching in this book.
I like the zoom in on the titties.
Yeah, yeah. Not Clint's.
You gotta know
Clint's
where to
good,
place
man.
your camera as an artist, folks.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
usually
Pedro,
about chest
Pedro.
level on a hot chick.
Wait, Pedro, I see you backstage, but you're not in all the way, if that makes sense. Yeah, you're kind of
He's like blurry.
So I just want to let you know I see you, but you're not. I'm not going to put you on the show yet because I still see some problems. So go ahead, Clint. I'm sorry.
Yep. No, that's fine. It's Slave Girl. The book is finished. I'm lettering it right now, sending it to the printer. I'm going to close out the campaign probably about the end of January here. This leads directly into Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen, which we have the sign-up list for. And I think we've got it down to the link. So you can get this book, sign up for Slave Girl versus Pirate Queen. That'll be the next one. And we're just kind of keep moving through them, churning them out. And we've delivered on all these books on a timely schedule. So there's not a lot of concern with that. This Pirate Queen will be the third Pirate Queen book. Slave Girl is part of that. So it's really a 4-book saga. So all the stuff's come out on time. If you've got any concerns about that, we deliver our books in a timely manner, and going to be closing it out soon. So if you want to get it, hit the link and back it today. And that's it.
Yeah, it looks good. And both those links are in the description. So the pre-launch page for Pirate Queen Slave Girl is there, and the Slave Girl in demand link is there as well. So thanks. That book looks fantastic. And yeah, Clint does deliver. And man, I keep forgetting like that you go back to the what the hell was that book that you mentioned with Mark Polton? Sea Dog and
Kill Switch.
Yeah, I think that's when I first met you. Yeah.
I did 2 48-page books of that, 2 60-page Pirate Queen books, 48-page Blue Bombshell book, 48-page Slave Girl book, and now Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl is going to be a 48-page book. I've done all that since 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I've been cranking out material. So
yeah, Clint's a hardworking dude.
There's more to come.
Excellent.
Definitely. And you're working a lot with Mandy. Which is
Mandy Summers. Cool. Mandy Summers is a little attention getter there. She does the great job of promoting the books, and I just sit and draw mostly.
Well, it works. So yeah.
I don't know why people pay attention to Mandy more than they do me, but that's just the way it kind of breaks down, I guess.
Yeah, it just happened that it just worked out that way. So
it's a mystery.
Yeah, it is a mystery. Black and White Volume 2, Man versus Machine. In a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. I want to thank everybody for supporting this book and backing it. You guys are the best. And I just want to let you know that some of these we're kind of gearing up to kind of streamline the campaign. And so the T-shirt tier and the let me go this way, and the Keshis. So the Keshis, as soon as these sell out, there are not going to be any more. So we got 7 of 20. So that's all we have left there. And the T-shirts are going to go down because we need to place the orders. So the Inco T, we're going to pull soon. I'm not sure when. I got to talk to my wife. And then the black and white wraparounds are going to be pulled down very, very soon. So if you wanted to get a T-shirt or any of the Keshis, please do quickly because they might not be there very much longer. So we got a lot of cool variants. We got the Kenneth Rocafort. We got the Joe Bennett variant. And we got the High Octane book by Von Klaus and Pedro Eng. We got Volume 1 reprint, second printing with a new cover on it. So you can get both issues. And that will wrap up the Origin Saga, issue 1 and issue 2. We still have a few of these Greg Capullo variants from 1994. And these story pages, this artwork is going to go away fairly soon as well, you guys. So the link is in the description. Click on that. If you like what you see, please back it. I do appreciate it. And I got some new artwork I'm going to show off real quick, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up. So
woohoo! New art.
There's a lot of competition tonight, so we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Oh,
so yeah,
three Comicsgate live streams.
Yeah. So these are the 3 pages I just got out to the
Nice.
colorist. So we got some stuff going on here. A lot of explosions, a lot of fighting with robots and mech and all kinds of good stuff.
Look at that face. That face is awesome.
Yeah, that dark panel that's bold.
Sweet.
It's great.
Sweet. I'm glad. And then I got 44 here.
Oh wow.
So we got, like I said, there's going to be some mayhem. So this is a big Michael Bay type of story.
The classic action shot with the explosion in the background.
Yeah, hell yeah, right? You got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And so this page right here is still work in progress. I do work digitally, so there's going to be some a big mech here in the foreground, and
is that
so
robot farting in panel 2?
Farting. There's a lot of tension, a lot of built up pressure that's being released in that panel. So yeah, there's a little bit of robot gas,
energy poop,
a little bit of internet gas.
Robo gas.
gas.
He had chili for lunch. See, look, he's farting. Right on.
Oh
right
shit!
on
It is coming out. Oh man!
You need to take that cloud and either
Art
down
did
or
a
raise it up a
Freudian
bit.
slip.
I'm gonna move it up. I gotta move that. After this, I gotta move that smoke up. That is so
No, it's
horrible.
perfect.
No, it's not perfect. All right. Well, my dog wants to
That's great.
Art.
See, there's butt stuff.
There's butt stuff. Oh shit! Yeah, we started with butt stuff, and we're going to end with some butt stuff. So sadly, we lost Pedro.
Hang on. Pedro, we'll have to talk about that next week, man. Comicsgate, it was Comixology just imploded.
What?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we'll look into that. That'll be a subject for next week.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, there have been people that have been predicting stuff.
Yeah.
So
It was headed that way for a while, I think.
Well, Amazon did Amazon buy it, so those guys
it got bought up and got cannibalized. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
yep, we're freezing up again.
I'm hoping for the same thing.
I'm not freezing up. All right. I want to thank everybody for hanging out on Pontificators. Like I said, There's a lot of competition, so we appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out with us for the 2 hours. I want to thank everybody, all my Pontificator buddies, for hanging out for 2 hours. Just great hanging out with you guys. A lot of fun. And everybody in the chat, thanks again. So we will see you next week. Take care.
Sayonara.
Bye-bye.